Hey guys, it's from the University of Greenwich. In this video we're going to continue looking at circle theorems, and we're going to move on to more tougher questions that involve chords and tangents. We've only previously touched on the topic of tangents and we've never really looked at any examples. Before we look at any of the questions, I want to introduce you to some of the theorems which I didn't mention about tangents. Okay. Whenever you have an external point which touches our our circumference at 2 points. So if we were to go touch there, so our 2 points where it's touching is the x and y. The length of each of these from the external point to the point in circumference are going to be the same. So if this was a length of let's say 5 centimeters, this will also be the length of 5 centimeters from this same external point. Okay, that's one of the theorems that you're going to need to know. So another theorem that we need to know that involves tangents is that if these two tangents that join together at an external point, if you draw an imaginary line that goes from an external point which touches our circumference at 2 points, the imaginary line that goes from our midpoint to this external point will bisect this angle. Okay, so whatever this angle is, it will be equal to that angle. Okay, so essentially this whole angle will be halved evenly. Okay, so here we've got an example on the board which will use the tangent rules that we've just gone through. Okay, so we've got an external point T that touches the circle at Q and P, and we've got a midpoint which has been bisected, which obviously there's a line that goes from the midpoint to our external point. Okay, we know that this bisects this angle evenly and that angle evenly, so that means 71 in this side of the angle is also going to be 71 here. Okay, so the entire angle is going to be 71 times 2 since it's been split directly in the middle. Okay, same principle applies over here. We know that this is x, so this is also going to be x. Okay, this is also going to be 71 because this entire angle has been split in the middle. So if you know one side of the angle, we know that the other side is going to have to be equal. Now, using our basic quadrilateral rule that we've gone through a few times before, we can work out the opposite angle. So here's a quadrilateral. If we add these two up, this will give us our entire angle. If we add these two up, this will give our entire angle. And we know that these two need to equal 180. So let's do 71 add 71. That gives us 142. X add x gives us 2x. So we know that these two need to add up together and give us 180. Because these two opposite angles of a quadrilateral, just identifying the quadrilateral, is equal to 180. Okay, so we do 2x add 142, which is basically this angle and that angle. They have to equal 180. Rearrange this, we get 2x equals 180, take away 142, so we can rewrite this as 2x equals, give us 38 degrees. And just to isolate x by itself, we divide this by 2, so it's going to be 38 divided by 2. X is simply 19 degrees. Now we've worked out x, so if this is 19, this will also be 19.